Hi, it's Angelo Caruso. I want to talk to you today about how you can sharpen your presentations, your speeches, in a way that might be surprising to you. It may be even counterintuitive to stop using the very same technology that you've been taught to use, that in some cases your boss insists that you use. But when I tell you why you should do this, I think you'll see right away that it'll give you a huge advantage when you're presenting to audiences, no matter how large the audiences are, no matter what it is you're trying to persuade them to do, whether you're in sales or leadership. And this is something I've been practicing for many, many years now, so I know it absolutely works. You see, a lot of people have fallen into the technology trap of thinking that somehow by using PowerPoint that they become a better speaker or a better presenter. In fact, the opposite is true in most cases, that you actually become less of a presenter when you use technology. So my first piece of advice to you if you're trying to become a better speaker is to not use PowerPoint at all. It will very quickly distinguish you from other speakers, other people that do what you do. I never could understand why people would spend so much time and energy and money getting potential prospects into the room only to say, look away from me to the screen while I turn off the lights. I mean, this makes no sense to me whatsoever. So by not using PowerPoint, you'd actually differentiate yourself and in many ways become a better speaker because you won't be using that crutch. But let's say your boss insists that you use a PowerPoint presentation. I do sales training for people all the time, and they tell me that they can't step away from PowerPoint because their boss insists. Well, maybe you can tell your boss that your coaching expert has told you to reduce the number of useless slides in your PowerPoint presentation. Maybe your boss would be interested in that, in which case you would do very well to present a PowerPoint presentation with only one quality slide. I'd like to have $1 for every time I've heard a speaker in the front of the room say, "You probably can't see this slide from the back of the room." Well, if they can't see it from the back of the room, why do you have it in the slideshow? And yet, week after week, year after year, this presentation features slides that nobody can read or understand. So why not go with one slide that has no bullet points? In fact, it has no language on it at all. It's just a photograph. And then you would tell a story that is somehow attached to that photograph. We all know that presentations are really about persuasion. They're about behavior modification. And we all also know that the people make decisions, buying decisions, for example, with the right half of their brain, not the left half of their brain. The left half appeals to bullet points, where the right half is interested in things like stories and images and that sort of thing. So why not appeal to the part of the brain that really does make the buying decision, which is the right half of the brain? So that's the second idea, first being not to use PowerPoint at all. The second is to reduce your PowerPoint presentation to a one-slide talk. And my final idea is to not use PowerPoint in the beginning or the end of your presentation. The reason? At the beginning of the presentation, you're supposed to be developing rapport, establishing eye contact, developing trust with the people in your audience. And you can't do that if they're not looking at you in the eye, which they're not doing if they're looking at the screen behind you. The idea, too, that at the end of the presentation, you're supposed to be going into something called the close. All good presentations have a call to action. And if you're asking your people to do something, the last place you want them to be looking is at a screen on the wall. You want them to be looking at you. So I recommend, for the third tip of this little video, that you only use PowerPoint in the middle third of your presentation. So use the first third to establish rapport and build the relationship. Use the middle third to show any slides that you can't explain in person, anything that must be seen by them as a type of visual. And then finally, hit the B key on your keyboard. B for black in PowerPoint will turn the screen black. So it's B for black and B for back if you care to turn it back on. But turn the screen black for the last third of your presentation, which is when you give your call to action. I think if you try these tips and give yourself a couple of times to get used to them, you'll not only get to be a better speaker, but your results will be better when you do presentations of any type. My name is Angelo Caruso. I'm giving a program in my home on January 29th. It's a program I give three times during the year. And the next one coming up is on January 29th. You can learn more about this by visiting the link at the bottom of the screen or in the notes page of this YouTube video. And I hope you can attend. I'll teach you more about presenting in 1 hour than you've learned in the last few years, and it'll be time very, very well spent. I do it in my home. It's a very unique combination of education and hospitality, and I'll treat you very well. Once again, michaelangelocaruso.com. Good luck with all of your presentations. I hope things go very well for you in the coming 12 months.